discern what's going on with us.
All right.
Could you come over here, Conrad?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. Kulintang music is a pre-colonial artistic tradition that has been practiced in the southern Philippines at least since 800 CE. So it's a very ancient music, but it is still very much alive and vibrant in the island of Mindanao to this day as part of people's lives and ceremony. And Kulintang music was mostly brought to the United States by my teacher. His name was Danongan Kalanduyan. He's a culture bearer and master artist who spent his life trying to propagate this music in the United States. So Kulintang Dialect, our band, we mostly play the songs that Danongan or Danny taught us, plus original compositions by me. So today we are teaming up with John Calloway, who is part of the band. Lucky us, he's part of Kulintang Dialect. And so we've been teaming up a lot with his compositions, playing the Kulintang parts for, his various versions for this project.
And you're going to hear excerpts from a project that I've created and curated for the last couple of years. It's called Buffalo Soldiers in the Philippines, A Crisis of Conscience. My grandfather was a Buffalo Soldier, which if you don't know what a Buffalo Soldier was, it's an African-American soldier, anywhere from the end of the Civil War up to the World War II. My grandfather, along with other African-American soldiers, were sent to the Philippines as part of the U.S. troops to subjugate or to bring democracy, however you look at it, to the Philippines. But what my grandfather and others discovered, that they were feeling that this was morally unjust to treat the Filipinos like they had been treated in the United States. So there was a crisis of conscience. And my grandfather was eventually court-martialed because he took a stance that said what we were doing as Americans was morally unjust. My grandfather stayed in the Philippines. He never moved back to the United States, in part because he led a better life in the Philippines. He wasn't living under Jim Crow South. He was living as a human being treated with dignity in the Philippines. He married my Lola, and they had, believe it or not, 14 children. So you're going to hear two excerpts from the project. You're going to hear a piece called Itim, which means black, and was originally dedicated to my father. If you had seen a picture of my dad, he looked like Bruno Mars. And then the second piece was Crisis of Conscience. In between those pieces, you're going to hear readings from people who wrote about my grandfather. We didn't know a lot of knowledge until about maybe 15 years ago about the depth of the work that my grandfather had did. Yeah, there's readings in both pieces.
Okay, so let's get it going.
Okay.
Let's get it going.
So you two up here, and we're back there.
Okay. We should take the podium.
In addition to being in the 24th Infantry, John W. Calloway was a reporter for an African-American newspaper in Virginia, the Richmond Planet. During his time in the Philippines, he interviewed Filipino nationals regarding their perception and understanding of African-American soldiers. Here are some excerpts. Question: do the Filipinos hold a different feeling toward the colored American from that of the white? Answer: before American occupation of the islands, and before the colored troops came to the Philippines, Filipinos knew little, if anything, of the colored people of America. We had read American history in general, but knew nothing of the different races there. All were simply Americans to us. This view was held up to the time of the arrival of the colored regiments in Manila, when the white troops, seeing your acceptance on a social plane by the Filipino and Spaniard, was equal to, if not better than theirs, began to tell us of the inferiority of the American blacks, of your brutal natures, your cannibal tendencies, how you would rape your señoritas, etc. Of course, at first we were a little shy of you, after being told of the difference between you and them, but we studied you. as results have shown between you and him, we look upon you as the angel and him as the devil.
From an interview with Senor Tordorica Santos, the Filipino physician.
By the difference in dealing with us is that the colored soldiers do not push us off the streets, spit at us, call us damn niggas, do not abuse us in all manner of ways, and connect race hatred with duty. For the colored soldier has none such for us.
A Filipino's Perspective on the Buffalo Soldier by Mario de Mira. They call us what they call you. Us are brown of different hues. They call you what they call us. You are here for blood and guts. They want land, sea, and flesh, yet you get nothing but abuse and death. Us are the same, some might say, a history we share as the white man's prey. They treat you like they treat us. Boots on backs, whips that crack. They treat us like they treat you, as fuel for an empire whose time is overdue. They build wealth while we break backs, jumping jitters when the cannons crack. Blood-soaked rivers like broken livers. Will we ever win our nation back? They call us what they call you. Us are black of different hues. They call you what they call us. Kalayaan means freedom. Come join us. A dedication to David Fagan, a black soldier, U.S. Army, that defected and joined the Philippine Revolutionary Army.
Calloway had become friendly with a number of Filipinos, as had many black soldiers who felt sympathy for people who were often treated as inferior and uncivilized. It was a familiar and deeply disturbing scenario, especially as the white Americans referred openly to Filipinos as niggers. Calloway wrote to an African American newspaper in his hometown, the Richmond Planet, that the black soldiers were between the devil and the deep sea in regards to the war. They faced the dilemma of doing their duty for America where their people were repressed, while they were repressing the nationalist ambitions of a colored race which they often found anything but uncivilized. And the concept of inferiority was, of course, an anathema to him. Gil Boringer, author, Imperialist Paranoia and Military Injustice, The Persecution and Redemption of Sergeant Calloway.
After my last conference with you and your father, I was constantly haunted by the feeling of how morally wrong we Americans are in the present affair with you. Would to God it lay in my power to rectify the committed error and compensate the Filipino for the wrong done? The day will come when you will be accorded your rights. The moral sensibilities of all America are not yet dead. There still smolders in the bosom of the country a spark of righteousness that will yet kindle into a flame that will awaken the country to its senses. John W. Calloway, in a letter to Tomas Consunji, planter, of which Calloway was deemed a dangerous element to the U.S. Army.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change don't come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother, and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there have been times that I felt I wouldn't last too long. But now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change don't come. Oh, yes, it will. It's raining bone, but we don't bother to shield our eyes. 20th century dawns with the vainest of all empire makers, blowing kisses around the rims of our mass graves. Around the rims of incomplete revolutions, can you make out the symbols in your stomach pains? Or be with your mother when torturers return? The rustle of white children who seem to levitate 1 foot higher every post-Reconstruction election. Disciples of entertainment and slave trading. Writing about courage, pretending that empire is always the middle of a story. Making the mistake of sugar, making kindling of skin, finishing a captain's blink. Poor white words exciting the lynch mob vacation. Electorate trudging beside kindling figures. Cane stock electorate, landmark, social evolution, or the dominant political act among thieves, this food for a bolo. fluffy yellow vestige for the buffalo marksman, might as well kill from the gut. Or finish this captivity slowly, topple all of the wanted posters in all of the congressional halls in Ekiha, paint expanding with consciousness. I will enjoy strength when it finds me. I will not tell anyone when I have found peace. Seeing through sound, seeing what Sam Hose taught before you shipped out, seeing through this permanent sound, seeing through perfect sound, millions of rebels that constitute this one belly, kindness that our dreams crawl through, cousins to the plant life are present from the heavens, pedigree stylized with metal and all other combinations of light. Nowhere else I'd rather be when I lose the ability to fly. A hand lands on a drum, skirmishing with devils. I saw the whole world in 20 minutes. I saw two peoples in a glass box, a ghost jungle in the corner of a room. I saw mirrors on the ridge lines, thousands of empty rifles made into a palace for the python, rotting whiteness over 7,000 islands. Colonialism sloshing around the tip jar, smells other than both night and day, other than both dawn and dusk. This aggression of the shadow that leaves the infantry. I saw a child, David Fagan, surveying my fate. Handcuffs, privately made, Robert Barons, whispering white angst at neck wounds. Our music impressing enemies. The most rigid seconds of Spain and death and Yankee Candle. Exposed death dates, a dance floor for Fagan's brood, a fate unseated. It was raining bones.